Too noisy because of the traffic on the street here, but what we have here is a bike that my friend picked up. I've been riding with him once before. I let him borrow my bike, and he kind of, because of me, the riding bug kind of bit him again, and he wanted to buy a bike. So of course he bought the cheapest piece of crap that he could find, which was this bike, which is I know it doesn't have the cowlings on it or anything right now. It's a TS200R or a TSR200 depending on where it was sold. It's a little two-stroke dual sport that they sold in the 90s. I think this is like a 1995 or 1996. And yeah, we bought it for, I should say he bought it for about Rokumanen, which I'll put the conversion for dollars on there, but he got it for dirt cheap. Problem was is that when he bought it, it didn't have an air box. Basically what the ad said, everything works, but it doesn't have an air box, which we ended up buying. So we had to buy an air box and air filter, and he said that it doesn't have a gasoline cap, which the tank, I have the tank off of it now, but so he was like, okay, he was like, all right, $600 or whatever it ended up being, and I just got to buy this and that. And he had it for a while, and it ended up being a little bit more complicated than that. When we bought it, we had this huge carb on here, which I've already worked on this thing a bit, but he had this huge carb on here, and well, I don't know, I'll just take this off. If you can look at the size of this intake manifold, it's really small, and the oil line's hooked up, but maybe we can see this here if we, you know what, fuck it, let's just, here's the stock intake size. And it matches the manifold perfectly. But when we bought it, we had this honkin' huge carb on here, and you can see the difference in intake sizes. And I don't know how the last person who had this on there, but somehow he managed to crank this intake and fit it into the manifold. And once we pulled it out, we realized that it was not going back in. And we're gonna be going off-road, so we want to have an air box to protect the, you know, keep the air filter clean. So I told him, let's find a stock carb. So we bought a stock carb, and family helped me rebuild the carb, and we've already started the bike, but now I got kind of I replaced all the fuel and oil lines, and I did all the boring stuff off camera, and now we're washing the tank, and now we're gonna just try to get the bike going. So I guess now we're gonna just start getting this bike back together. So step one is to get that tank on and make sure it's clean, because it was all rusted out because it didn't have a gas cap on it. So that's let's get that tank cleaned up. Everybody's trying to get free. 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 made a rubber stopper so we can put this rust eating solution away, but I just noticed that a long time ago somebody busted up this corner of the tank and we got a leak coming from there, not from the petcock, but from the corner. So I'm gonna go buy some JB Weld and see if I can patch it up to see if we can avoid buying a new tank.